Welcome to the workshop. We're glad you could join us for how to complete online job applications. If you're looking for a job, you know that more and more of the activities and decision-making processes occur online, from searching for jobs to completing applications and submitting resumes. In this 35-minute workshop, we're going to go over some of the basic preparations and a few key tips and tools for successful online applications. Specifically, the workshop has 4 topics. We start with how to prepare for your job search and online job applications. Second, we go over the online job application process, what happens first, and then the next steps. Topic number 3 is tips and tools and other resources to help you do a good job. And then you get an overview of online job banks and how to use company websites to look for jobs. Before we get started, get your pen out so you can take notes. If you have a copy of the presentation, take notes on the slide pages. If not, get some paper too. Since this is a video of the workshop, you can use your controls to pause the video to have time to make notes, or you can rewind to review, or you can watch the workshop more than once to make sure you have gathered all the great information. Just another quick note, even if you are not a beginner and have applied online several times before, you should still watch and listen to this workshop because there is a lot going on besides what you see on the screen. All right, let's get started. How do you prepare for online job applications? First, you may need to or want to brush up on your computer skills, even typing skills, so that you can complete online applications without having to stop and restart. Some applications do not let you save what you have already completed. You need to have a fair amount of information right in front of you so you can fill out all the fields and boxes and answer all the questions. For example, you need exact start and end dates for your last several jobs. The third topic goes over your email address, creating one that you can use for your job search. Think about your personal account. Something like BettyBlueEyes@AOL.com is not appropriate. Employers tell hundreds of stories to each other about how many inappropriate email addresses that applicants have used, and these are not individuals they hire. The fourth preparation tip is on focus and structure for your job search. Plan and schedule time. If you are looking for a full-time job, you need to look full-time for the job, 40 hours every week. And you need to schedule access to a computer connected to the internet. Online applications are just one job search method. Make sure you are using multiple methods, such as networking, which is a great way to find a job. Brush up on your computer skills. Let's start here. Before you apply for jobs online, you'll want to improve your knowledge and understanding of computer basics, the internet navigation, how to search and browse, typing, and using email. What knowledge or which of these computer skills might you need to improve to help you succeed with your job search? Read the list again and pick a priority. Write down your skill building priority and make sure to create an action plan from the workshop tips to follow. Since the goal is to improve your computer skills, it's recommended that you do this on your computer online. Allison.com is a recommended online learning site. You can see the address on the top left of the slide. Once you go to this site and create an account, you can access many topics that build your skills, all at no cost to you. There are 3 basic computer lessons on this slide. Microsoft Digital Literacy has lessons on the internet, introduction to email, and searching the web. There's a lesson on Microsoft Word for Beginners, and you can learn to type or type faster. If you type any of these 3 titles into the search field at the allison.com site, you can access these courses. Also, you can use your New Mexico Workforce Connection account to link to allison.com. After you log on, you'll see options under Services for Individuals on the left navigation menu. Select Education Services, and then from the secondary menu that appears, select Online Learning Resources. A link to allison.com is here. There is a lot of information on this slide. Hit pause on your video control if you need time to review. The next step in your preparation is to gather any information you may need while you are online completing applications. The best way to do this is to complete a paper application, so you have all the necessary information before you begin. Then you can refer to this paper application in front of you and just type in the information. You can even carry the completed paper application with you in case you see a computer kiosk in a store. You know, the ones with a sign that says, "Now hiring, apply here." And you can use the paper application in the same way and apply right then and there. Type Job Application Template into your browser to find and print one out. The information listed on the slide is what you enter on an online application, such as career goal or the job title you're applying to, employment history information, precise dates, your reason for leaving, the name and current contact information for former supervisors, education including the name of your school, beginning and end dates, and the name of the degree or certificate awarded, and your reference information, names and current contact information. You may also need to, or have an option to, upload a resume, so have your current resume on your computer as well. There are more details about this coming up. As a job seeker, it is very likely you will need to connect with employers online. Here are some tips, starting with email. If you do not have an email account, create one. This may be a second account if you need a professional email address instead of the one you use for your personal account. Would an employer use the word professional to describe your current email username? Think of your occupation to create a username and make a good impression. Something like bestautomechanic@gmail.com or professionalofficemanager@gmail.com. And don't forget to check your email frequently, at least twice a day, because responding to employers right away makes a good impression, and it's probably what they are expecting. You can type "create an email account" into your browser to find links to how-to information or to new account sites for Gmail or Yahoo or other email options. This is the final preparation tip. You've already heard that looking for a job is a full-time job. You need to make it a priority. Set aside time each day for your job search and stick to it, and don't let yourself be interrupted or distracted during this time. Create a schedule of dedicated time on an internet-connected computer for at least 20 hours per week. If the computer you use at home is shared, then negotiate a schedule. Or you may have extended family members that will let you use their computer. You can also use a tablet. One with a keyboard is best for job applications. And you can complete online applications from your cell phone. It's just harder to do with all the typing and information that is required. But if this is your only option, then use it. The computers in the resource room at your local Workforce Connection office or at the public library are options as well. But scheduled use is limited to when those locations are open, and others may already be using the computers. Set up a dedicated office space. Picture a table or a counter or a desk, an area where you can set something up so that you can jump right in every day and not waste any time. So let's recap the prep. Brush up on your computer knowledge and skills. Gather all your information and have it handy. Use a professional email account and plan and schedule your job search time and online activities. Now we answer, what are the online application steps? It starts with finding jobs that you are qualified for. There are many ways to do this. You can apply at a kiosk, such as those you may have seen in retail stores. Be sure to have your information handy if you use one of these. Once you have an account, you can use the New Mexico Workforce Connection online system. You use the Job Seeker services, and you can set up a virtual recruiter that will look for jobs for you. There's more information on the virtual recruiter on the next slide. There are additional online sources of jobs, such as social media sites and company websites, and you can create user accounts on other job boards. You select a job and click Apply Now once you find an opening you're qualified for and interested in, and then you provide all the required information. The overall application process also includes follow-up to stay action-oriented about landing a new job. You are probably already familiar with the New Mexico Workforce Connection online system if you have ever filed online for unemployment insurance or you have been to one of the Workforce Connection centers. You may also already have created an account and used Job Seeker services. You can put the Workforce Connection online system to work for you by setting up a virtual recruiter so you receive alerts with new job listings that match your job criteria. How do we get to the virtual recruiter? It starts with Services for Individuals. This is a left navigation menu that we've seen before. You select Job Seeker Services. From the secondary menu that appears, you select Virtual Recruiter. The Virtual Recruiter scans jobs entered daily and notifies you when any of these new jobs match an alert you have created. These are job leads. You then need to follow the instructions and go to the Workforce Connection online to complete the application. With this function, you select Create a New Alert. You enter search criteria such as location and job title, and you provide some qualifications. You can select text or email to receive your alert. Again, these are leads to jobs that may be a good fit for you, but you need to go to the site to complete the online application. There are other ways to find job openings online, and most of these sites allow you to apply directly from the job listing. These include job boards, company websites, and social media sites. Employers say they often use Indeed and LinkedIn, along with jobs on Facebook and CareerBuilder when they are hiring. You insert the name of the job board in your browser, or you can search for job-specific boards such as technology jobs or jobs for nurses. On most boards, you start by creating an account, and then you make selections from search fields such as job title or area where you want to work. You can save your search so that each time you visit the site, you can search with the same criteria. And if you know how to bookmark an internet site, go ahead and do that so you can quickly return to the job boards you like. More and more companies use their websites for recruiting with something called a careers page, where they post open jobs. The best way to find these is to research employers that hire people in your field, then search the internet to find these employer websites, then select Careers, which is usually an option along the top menu bar. Here is an example from a company in Clovis, New Mexico, and you can see Careers on the top menu. What happens when you click on the Apply Now button on an online website? If you're registered with the New Mexico Workforce Connection online system, when you click the Apply Now button, the information you have already entered is used to apply for the job. On other sites, when you click on the Apply Now button, we've already discussed how to be prepared to enter quite a bit of information in a series of screens. To go from screen to screen, you usually click Next buttons at the bottom. On this slide, you can see a review of information on an online application for a retail company, contact information, work and education, questions related to your qualifications, hours, shift of work. In addition, there may be assessment questions to help an employer make a decision, such as questions about honesty or customer service. So here's what to take from all of the information on this slide. Number one, the first few times you do an online application, it can seem overwhelming because you are asked for a lot of information. And number two, that is why it is recommended that you have a completed paper copy of an application in front of you and are not trying to remember employment dates or company addresses or lots of other details. Two important reminders for online applications. Number one, select only jobs that you are qualified for. And number two, carefully complete the application. We're going to talk about those two topics next. First, here are some tips for job selection. Employers may have application cycles and restrict when you can reapply. For example, if your application is incomplete, you may have to wait to reapply, sometimes up to 60 days for entry-level jobs. Only apply for multiple jobs at one company if you are absolutely qualified. Otherwise, it can communicate less than positive impressions about you. Many companies keep your application in their database, so an employer can see and compare your application activities over time. Carefully completing the application is very important, so the next 4 slides have tips and reminders about just that. Start by reading the job description to make sure you are qualified. Have that completed paper job application in front of you. You can find one online to print if you put sample job application in your browser. Follow instructions exactly. For example, if you need to attach your resume in a certain format, be sure to do so. Do not leave any blanks. Incomplete applications are usually deleted, or the missing information may raise questions about you. Most applications do not let you advance to the next screen if you have not completed required fields. These are marked with a red asterisk. Here you can see what an asterisk looks like. There's not going to be a spell checker, so you can use an online dictionary on your cell phone or computer, or have a printed one handy if you're applying from home. Then proofread carefully before you hit the next or submit buttons. Make steady progress without stopping, because not all applications let you save and then return later. Some may actually time out without letting you complete it if it takes too long. This is usually reasonable, but don't get distracted or take a phone call, for example, once you have started. Before you start the application, edit your resume to customize it for the job. If you edit in advance, you can attach it without leaving the application. Just a note, for more information on creating a standout resume, there is another workshop available that you can watch on this same YouTube channel. We have presented this before. What information is usually requested? Just read the specific instructions on each application. For example, employment history may go all the way back 10 years. And note, if the application has a field for the duties of your previous job, be sure to highlight those that are relevant to the job you're applying for. So again, education, special skills such as software you know how to use or if you're bilingual, salary expectations, and scheduling availability, full-time, part-time, hours, shift, and start date. So the last few slides have included many different tips. Feel free to pause and rewind if you want to review. Assessment questions may be used as a type of pre-employment screening. Let's review since there are many employers using these on job applications. The topics may cover your skills and knowledge, honesty, integrity, customer and employee relations, questions about work-related situations, or your self-analysis of personal work standards, attention to detail, quality standards, etc. So think about how you would handle a hypothetical situation at work and be prepared to give an answer about what you would do. For example, how would you deal with angry customers, or customer complaints, or conflict with coworkers? These types of questions are used to assess your honesty or integrity. Here's an example. If I had access to the internet at work, I would only use it for work and never personal reasons. Then you're directed to choose from a series of responses. This statement about me is completely true, mostly true, maybe true or false, mostly false, or completely false. So you're given the situation, and then you decide which statement to choose. Here's some additional examples. My productivity would remain the same with or without supervision. I have never lied or misrepresented facts on my resume. Since my first responsibility is to my employer, I would report any misconduct of a coworker, like long lunch breaks or leaving the office early. The best tip for this type of assessment is to answer truthfully. Don't spend too much time thinking about the right answer, because the time you take to answer is timed, and based on statistics, it's an indicator of truthfulness. We're going to wrap up with some technical information, just in case you may need to get additional training or help from someone. Here are some other computer functions you may need to know how to do to apply online. These are basically used to save or convert documents, submit information by email, or send documents over the internet. Staff at the Workforce Connection offices can help you learn how to do these, and there are instructions on the next several slides, which you may want to pause to review. If at some point you need to do one of these document conversions, just remember these instructions are in this workshop for you to return to and use. Here's the list of steps to convert a Word document to a PDF file on both a Windows PC computer or a Mac Apple computer. You can see there are 6 steps for either type of computer, and they are very similar instructions. If you are viewing this workshop as a video, you may hit pause in order to write down the instructions, or return to this slide if needed at a later time. If you have to copy and paste a Word document into a website, you must convert it to a language the internet recognizes, such as Rich Text Format, or RTF. This is because the internet does not recognize formatting used on your resume created in Word, such as bold, indents, or bullets. The 5-step RTF instructions are similar to creating a PDF and are listed on the slide. Note in step 5, you need to open the RTF resume to check the formatting. Your text may have moved around, so you may need to fix the margins or remove spaces or other edit functions for reformatting. If you need to submit a resume and cover letter by email, the same requirements for internet conversion apply. If you are attaching a document, save it as a PDF file and then use the Attach File function in your email program. If you're going to cut and paste a Word document into the email, first save it as RTF and edit once you've pasted into the email text box. Be sure to use the email subject line to include the job title or job number you are applying to, so when the recruiter searches by title or number, your email is included. You may want your response to stand out in the subject line with something like Jane Doe's qualifications for office manager, and then include the job number or title of the vacancy. What happens after you apply online? If there is a high volume of applications, it is rare to get any response from an employer unless they are interested in you. The process may take several weeks, so you may not hear back from an interested employer during that time. Keep good records of your online applications so you can remember the specifics of the jobs and people at companies that you apply to, and you are prepared if you do get a call. You don't want to answer the telephone and say, "Who are you?" or "Where are you calling from?" Although you may say, "Can you repeat that information for me?" Follow the employer's instructions related to contact. If they state no telephone calls, do not call. As an alternative, find out the name of the person in charge of hiring and send an email with your resume attached 5 days after you apply to check on the status of your application. Continue a variety of daily job search activities, including more online applications. Here are other resources available on the New Mexico Workforce Connection online. You can create a resume, conduct a job search, apply for jobs online, set up the virtual recruiter, explore careers, link to Allison.com, the online skill building site presented, to expand or brush up your skills. You can also watch how-to videos in the Online Learning Center. There are also additional online workshops available on this YouTube station, New Mexico Workforce Connection East Region. There's a workshop on standout resumes, social media for job seekers, how to create a new account and file for unemployment insurance, and an overview of services and general unemployment insurance information. Be sure to go online and use these many resources available to you to help you find your new job. Ask the staff at your local Workforce Connection office for more information or about any other questions you may have about your job search. Feel free to watch this video again if needed to absorb all the information. Please copy down the contact information for the Workforce Connection Center nearest to you.